Says the Reed Irvine Award for Accuracy in Media for Investigative Reporting presented to Judge Jeanine Pirro to honor your pursuit of the truth and dedication to hard-hitting journalism.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all. I must tell you that I didn't start out thinking that I would ever do anything like this. You know, I grew up in upstate New York, small town America. I'm sure you've never heard of it. The town was called Elmira. Oh, all right. Most people say it's closed when they get there. But I grew up in an ordinary family. You know, we prized my parents' education and school and God, and my father a veteran, grandfather a veteran. You know, it was all about God, country, education, and making a difference. I made a decision when I was very young to be a lawyer. I don't know, I think I was watching Perry Mason. And that was a long time ago for you youngins in the room. And I remember that Perry Mason always was able to get to the truth. You know, he was always able to free the guy who was wrongly accused. And honestly, I could never understand how Hamilton Berger, who was the DA, ever got reelected. I mean, the guy did nothing but lose cases. But anyway, so I followed my dream and I became a prosecutor in Westchester County, New York, and I realized that the rights of battered women was something that most states didn't recognize. I mean, in the late 70s, you could shoot, stab, beat, or brutalize your wife, and if you didn't kill her, it wasn't a crime. This is in the United States of America, folks. In 1978, there was a law in the books that if you beat your wife after 10 p.m., it was a crime. Get it? It's going to disturb the quiet. So I started the first domestic violence unit in the country, and so for me, it was always about truth and justice and right and wrong. I tried cases, I loved the courtroom, and after 15 years, I went to the bench. I thought I died when I got there. I couldn't fight, I couldn't argue. I felt like I was a referee. No insult to the judges. My mother was very upset. How can you give up your robe? And I had this long term, and I just didn't want to finish it. Law enforcement was in my blood. I ran for DA and again, and I found that there was able to be a level playing field in courtrooms. That we could take the wrongdoer and make the wrongdoer accountable for victimizing a person who never chose to be a part of the system in the first place. After 32 years, I left. I went into television, I had a court show, and now I'm with Roger Ailes at Fox. What I do at Fox is not that different from what I do on television. From what I did in the courtroom, I should say. It's about truth and justice, right and wrong. It's about evidence. It's about a position, a list of evidence, and a conclusion. It's an argument. And that's what I do every week. And the most disappointing part of all this, folks, is the fact that nobody really cares about the truth anymore. It's a game. It's theater. It's a shell game. Where if she says this, if it's a video, and this guy's going to go to jail for creating the video, even though this is America and we have a First Amendment right to say whatever the hell we damn well please, we're going to change the focus of our government. And what is happening before us today is mind-boggling. And so I go forward every week. I don't really care about, you know, who's right and who's wrong. It's about where the evidence takes you. It's just like a courtroom. If they say something that doesn't make sense, you have an obligation to rebut it. And when the mainstream media is more concerned about an ideology, about politics, than truth and right and wrong, I'm telling you folks, we are in real trouble. We are in real trouble in this country. And when the demographics of this country are being changed, the way they're being changed now, whether it's this new UN refugee program where people are being brought in from the Middle East and local and state officials are not being told where they're brought in, what their backgrounds are, as well as what happened this summer from Central America. We let them in. They say I'm with the Latin Kings or MS-13 and I'm a murderer and I have a criminal record. Well, we let them in. Okay, that's bad enough because we have to pay for it. But what's worse is that with this allegiance that is now being created with this influx of people, the allegiance to the Democratic Party and the ideology, I worry about this nation, whether a Republican can win, whether or not our voices are being submerged in this cacophony of, oh, this is America, everybody gets everything for free, and you know, it's great, and with our short memory span, we're in big trouble. This award means a great deal to me. Reed Irvine saw in the late 60s, as Chris Plant just said, he saw a problem, the reporting of the Vietnam War. And he stood up, and you know what was amazing about it? And I didn't know that much about him. What was amazing was when he started coming on the scene, people were saying, well, we really do have enough conservative people on television, as if enough of you over there, we don't need any more of you, we're real good where we are. But I'm telling you, I go around the country. Every week I give a speech somewhere. This country is frightened. Most people agree with what we think, but it is the intelligentsia. It is the academic focus of many in the Northeast who are more interested in their agenda and their ideology. I only care about America. I care about what my father, my grandfather fought for. I am schooled in truth and justice, and I hate lies. I hate people who lie. It makes me crazy. Half of the people that we hear from in Washington ought to, well, you know what, ought to be made more accountable. Sorry. But when the Attorney General, who sits at the citadel of power vis-a-vis law enforcement in this country, who says he didn't know about Fast and Furious, and then we find out he knew about Fast and Furious, and then he tells us, well, the letter that we wrote, you know, we have to take it back, but only after we find out the truth. This is bad. It's wrong. And by the way, the whole idea of providing these weapons to the drug cartels, they're killing people in Mexico too. Has anybody thought about the fact that a lot of people in Mexico are really angry with us because they think America is selling, and we're not even selling them, we're giving them away for free, these guns to the cartels. And the rest of the world, our friends, they're saying, wait a minute, we're Israel, we're on the same side. Or we're this country, or we're that country. There is a realignment in terms of sides. There's a lot to be concerned about. I'm going to continue my mission. I keep saying that this is something